Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Viking, of course. Another movie review. Lots of movies to review, and I feel like this year that there's not too many blockbusters coming out. I'm getting to see a lot more of these kind of indie, lower budget movies that I probably wouldn't get the chance to see in other years because I'd had so much Marvel, DC, Star Wars stuff to watch. But in a year where there's not much movies coming out, these kind of movies, I'm getting to sit down and watch them. I'm really appreciating the filmmaking style from these directors. But this movie is a review for Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. Of course, big fan of Russell Crowe, not only from Gladiator, but also Man of Steel. But this film is about, after a confrontation with an unstable man at an intersection, a woman becomes the target of his rage. And look, this movie, it's pretty brutal. It really is. It's not a bad movie or anything. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it. But basically, I'd watch it just to see Russell Crowe's performance because he is just, as the title would go, he's unhinged. He's crazy. He will do anything. He will kill. He is an unbelievably brutal character. And just to see Russell Crowe's performance, see Russell Crowe unhinged, is pretty interesting from an acting perspective. If you're interested in that type of thing, if you're interested in watching a great actor just being let go and being rage angry, it's a pretty good movie in that aspect. Now, some of the kills, his character does a lot of killing in this movie, and I won't spoil too much, but he does killing, and the kills are brutal. He burns people, he crashes into people, he does a lot more worse things than that. That's only the surface, and at times it's very hard to actually watch this movie because of the kills. The kills are brutal, and I wasn't expecting them to be so brutal. And from the trailers, I thought maybe it would just be all in a car, or a lot of it would just be road rage, as in the story is about, and crashing into people. That's what I thought would basically be the story, but there was a lot more to it. Russell Crowe actually has a lot of dialogue in it. He's a lot of interaction with other characters than the main character, and of course the protagonist is kind of Karen Pistorius. She does a pretty good job. Her acting's okay. She does a lot of emotional scenes. Yeah, she's okay, but I'd watch this for Russell Crowe's performance alone. But some of these kills, some of the brutal kills, might be hard for you to watch, and I actually mean that. And if you're probably a fan of the Saw movies, you probably have no problem with this whatsoever. But if you're someone who's a bit gruesome to this kind of things, it will be a bit hard to kind of watch, because there's one scene at a diner. Russell Crowe, he's having an interaction with a character, and let's just say, it's not the most nice scene to sit down and watch, especially after you have your dinner or something like that. I don't know. But this movie is just good for an acting standpoint, and some of the action is pretty good. But overall, Unhinged, would I watch it again? I probably would, but I wouldn't be raving about it or anything. I just think Russell Crowe gave a really good performance in this, and you know what? He's a great actor. He can be good in absolutely anything, and there has to be a reason he took this kind of role other than the big paycheck. But there's nothing special about the effects or anything like that. We've seen it a million times before. It's just the kills are a little bit different and really in your face. But overall, Unhinged with Russell Crowe, yeah, I'd give it a watch. There's nothing too special about it. I will say the opening sequence, it kind of has an opening scene which is pretty good, but then it has kind of like a montage about road rage in America with some music to it and stuff. I don't think they really had to show that. It's like it's making out that road rage is an unbelievable global problem in the world and it needs to be stopped now. Not really, when we have more important things to worry about in the world. Racism or even the virus right now. Road rage is probably a little bit lower on the list, but it does show that some people can be very angry behind a wheel, and you never know who you're honking at in front, and it could be Russell Crowe's character. But guys, have you seen Unhinged? I didn't want to spoil too much because there's not really too much to spoil anyway, but I want you to go in and watch it yourself and see what you think of the action, of the brutal kills. But let me know in the comments, guys, have you seen this movie Unhinged? If not, will you check it out? Do you think you're interested in Russell Crowe as an actor? This movie, the trailer, did it do anything for you? Of course it came out. It was one of those movies that came out when the pandemic was, well, it's still going on, but one of those movies that tried to save theatre per se with Tenet, and I think it did alright. Didn't do it. Like, how can you prepare a movie in a pandemic? Anyway, but guys, get in the comments, let me know, give a like, subscribe if you've seen all my content before. If you want to see more of the content, I should say, if you're a subscriber already, I appreciate you being a subscriber. I really, really do. But guys, get in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on Unhinged. I dig Russell Crowe's Unhinged performance, but be careful who you honk at. Seriously.